Hello there, my name is Dr. Ruth Dempsey. I am a PhD scientist, a toxicologist in training, and I have worked all my life for the last 30 plus years in industry, in research and development. And I specialize in the science of lifestyle choices, helping particularly people to make the right lifestyle choices for them based on the best science. I recently started my own company advising friends, family, companies and professionals, as well as governments, on how to do exactly that. I was first introduced to doTERRA by my daughter about 2 years ago, and I immediately loved the oils. I thought there was something different about these particular essential oils. But I was a little bit cynical about the company itself. But the more I looked into it, the more I talked to my daughter, the more I asked questions and looked into it, the more impressed I became by it. And in particular by their attitude towards the quality of the products and the science of the products itself. The more I found out about the company, the more I've loved it. They have an attitude about quality, they have an attitude about caring, making a difference in the world, and of course about following the best science. And I think that is really what made me want to be a part of it. So I contacted them, and I'm delighted that as of last year, I have been a member of the newly created European Scientific and Medical Education Council, where I can bring my skills, understanding science, to help you and everybody to make better choices for your lifestyle based on the most recent science. And I think one of the products that most epitomizes that is doTERRA's Lifelong Vitality Complex, and that's what I'd like to talk to you about now. So the first thing that I thought about this was, well, why supplement? I'd always like to believe that a good diet was all that one needed, that if you ate well and you ate your greens and your fibre days, that you would get all the nutritional supplements that you want. I've taken vitamins A, C and D at times, and I've taken vitamin B complex at times to support particular times in my life, but I've never really been pro supplements. But when I started looking into it and looking into the science behind it, I realized that nowadays, with the pressures that there are on farming, on intensive farming, the fact that we move our foods around the world over huge distances and put them into storage for huge periods of time, the levels of pollutants that there are around and the depletion of the soil means that foods nowadays, even if you have a healthy diet, don't necessarily offer you all of the micronutrients at the levels that you need. And in fact, there is a growing concern about nutrient deficiencies in most countries worldwide nowadays. And so, yes, I think a healthy diet is fundamental, but I realize now that supplementing it with good, wholesome food micronutrients is extremely beneficial. And what I love about the doTERRA Lifelong Vitality Pack is they have really looked at the latest science, the combinations and the doses and the presence of all of the main elements that we need to help to support vitality are all there in the pack. There are 3 main components to this. They've broken it down into 3 different packages. The composition of each one is very delicately balanced in order to deal with a specific aspect of the nutritional needs that we require. So let's start with the Microplex VMZ. This is a multivitamin just like many other multivitamins, except of course that this one offers just the right balance of the vitamins that we all need. It also has a lovely combination of things like zinc and selenium and iron, the minerals that are present. And incidentally, in Europe, it's very, very difficult to have the levels of selenium that one needs in the diet because of the lack of selenium in the soils in most European areas. One of the things that I loved about the package that doTERRA have put together is they've dealt with one of the most difficult aspects of vitamin supplements that you see in the aisles in general, is that they've dealt with the bioavailability. Just putting vitamin C into a capsule isn't going to necessarily give you the vitamin C that you need. In order to do that, what they've done is prepared it in a way with a whole food basis so that the body recognizes it as a nutrient and absorbs it in the best possible way. This will make a huge difference to the availability of the product and to how you can absorb it and use it by the body itself. So the next product that I would like to talk about is the ZOmega product. And this is, of course, the product that offers the omega-3s. Now, the omega-3s, and many other things as well, but these are the polyunsaturated fatty acids, also known as the PUFAs. These are essential to many parts of the cell makeup within the body itself, and particularly with the immune response and with inflammation. But the human body needs a balance of omega-3 and omega-6. We don't have any trouble getting omega-6s in our diet in general, but the omega-3s can be very, very difficult to get. And so omega-3 supplementation has become a very important part of getting the right nutrients that we get. This particular omega-3 comes from fish oils, and also from algae. There is a vegan offering for the ZOmega, which has algae-based omega-3s. And they are also supplemented with a range of vitamins. There is a fair amount of science that suggests that vitamin D, for example, and the omega-3s can work together for some of the anti-inflammatory effects that they can have in the cell basis. In addition to that, it has a lovely dose of the astaxanthin, which is a very highly powerful antioxidant in there, and a nice combination of essential oils, which both help to boost the antioxidant power of here, but they also help to preserve the fish oils and stop it from going rancid within the cells itself. So that's a very interesting package that comes through. And the last of the three is really the doTERRA's proprietary blend of botanicals in their Alpha CRS+, which is a cellular support system. These are quite simply a powerhouse of antioxidants and plant polyphenols, which provide the protection that the body needs in order to support many of the main systems within the cells, and particularly with producing energy, antioxidant status within the cells itself, anti-inflammatory status within the cells itself. The alpha CRS also has elements in there which help to support mitochondrial function, so to give you more energy, and it also includes a blend of cofactors such as coenzyme Q10, alpha lipoic acid, and acetyl L-carnitine. And of course, it has ginkgo biloba, which is, there's a fair amount of science coming out these days about the support that ginkgo biloba has and extracts on the central nervous system and neural systems. So individually, each of these are lovely. What I love about this combination is that there are more and more scientific evidence coming out about particular combinations. Vitamin D and one of the omega-3s, the DHA and omega-3, are known to work synergistically together to help with immune support. Similarly, with quercetin and the omega-3s have been shown to work very well together. So in combining these three elements, you also get positive elements in those combinations. And so individually, the science of each of these components clearly makes sense, but not just looking at the science. doTERRA has actually done some clinical studies itself. And this was one of the things that blew me away about doTERRA when I was going through that. I wonder if they have started to do a number of clinical studies. Back in 2017, they published a clinical study for the first time on their LLV components. Now, this is a relatively small study, and it's only a pilot study, and it's only for 2 months. But even under those circumstances, when they've asked people within the study itself the only change they made was to take LLV for a 2-month period. And they measured a pretty wide range, I think around about 40 different combinations of things that were measures of cardiovascular health, for example. And they found a significant improvement in many of those just in that 2-month period. In addition, they also looked at subjective improvements there. And in many ways, I think this is perhaps the most important element, is that they found a significant improvement in many of the subjective feelings of mood and well-being and health within those people themselves. And we know this because we know whenever we talk to people how much they enjoy taking LLV and what a difference it makes them feel like. But it's lovely to see it in a controlled scientific experiment. So in short, these supplements do seem to make a difference. And finally, having gone through all these things that one can do, I just want to say that I personally think the LLVs have made a huge difference for me. They make me feel much, much better. I feel much more comfortable about the diet that I'm having right now. But I still maintain there's a few things that one has to do. One has to have a healthy diet. I would thoroughly encourage you to eat more locally derived foods, fresher foods as much as you can, because that's the best way to get the nutrients that you can out of it. I also would encourage you to drink as much water as you possibly can. Yes, I know it's possible to drink too much water, but it's very unlikely that you will. 2 to 3 litres a day is a hard target to get to, but if you can get to that on a daily basis, it will make a difference to how your body can process foods and provide many other functions as well. And the last thing I would like to recommend to you, of course, is for you to take your LLV, your Lifelong Vitality Complex. And I recommend that you take it at a regular time each day, whichever time suits you. I do recommend that you take it with a meal if you can, because it does help with the absorption and it also helps with the functionality of some of those elements within there. But the most important thing is to find a time that you know you will remember to take them, because that's how it will make a difference. Thank you.